On tap, Guinness Black Lager.
Better beer authority, better beer.
Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today we are drinking Guinness from the Guinness Brewery in St. James Gate, Ireland. But not that famous stout you know so well. We're diving into a bottle of Guinness Black Lager, which has been test marketed since 2010 but was released nationwide in the US in September of 2011. Guinness Black Lager is 4.5% ABV and is either classified as a Schwarzbier or Euro Dark Lager, depending on who you ask. It is the first lager to be released under the Guinness brand. They use roasted barley and Saaz and Cascade hops. The 11.2 ounce vessel says to enjoy ice cold, straight from the bottle. Brewmaster Fergal Murray says that they wanted to create a lager that is crisp and refreshing, but retains the Guinness distinction and spirit. He also adds, "We've kept the flavors consistent, but just refined them to fit a less filling beer." Chef, is this a Guinness yet less filling?
You know, I guess you can get some of the flavor characteristics of Guinness. I mean, you can get the chocolate, the coffee notes to it. But I don't think it's Guinness. It doesn't remind me of Guinness. It's not a stout beer. I mean, it's just definitely it drinks like a lager. It drinks like a dark lager, but it's still just a lager, traditional lager beer. I mean, it's very light flavored. It's
light bodied too.
It's light bodied. It's got some carbonation to it. Has no staying power to it. Has some, like I said, some light notes to it if you really dig for those flavors. But I mean, other than that, you can sit back and drink it, but nothing spectacular.
Well, from what I've read, they wanted the roasted barley taste of Guinness, but they did want it to be light and refreshing. Mark, is this light and refreshing?
I mean, I think that yes, the beer is light, and I think I can see how it is refreshing. I don't care much for the flavor profile of it. Not that it's bad, it's not necessarily for me. It's light-bodied and it's fine.
Scott, do you think this would appeal to American lager drinkers? Which, from my reading, that's what they're going for. They're trying to steal some of that market.
I think it would. It's just tough because they're going to have to break years and years of kind of reputation, so to say. I mean, when people look at Guinness, they think, oh, Guinness. I don't think your average beer drinker, especially your average lager drinker, is going to differentiate between Guinness Black Lager and Guinness. They're going to see a Guinness bottle and think, that's Guinness. They're not going to realize that this isn't nitrogen-based. They're not going to realize that this is truly...
There's no widget in the bottle.
Yeah, there's no widget. It's not a stout. It's not bitey. Nobody's going to realize it's too little too late in the American population. This is not a great representation of what Guinness is.
So you don't think this adds to the Guinness legacy?
No. I mean, I think their legacy is set at Guinness Stout, and then they have Guinness Extra Stout, and then they have Guinness Foreign Extra. Those beers are phenomenal beers. I mean, they're still great beers in my book. But I mean, this one, trying to attract that, your traditional lager drinker, it's too late. I mean, it's too late to switch back.
What's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 5. I mean, it's an okay lager, but for Guinness, I think they can produce better beers, and this is not what I would anticipate Guinness to produce as a new beer in their repertoire.
Mark, is there a difference between a craft brewer coming out with a new beer and what Guinness is doing here?
Well, I think that it's been thrown out a couple of times that it seems like, especially to me, that they're breaking a legacy. I don't think that there's any problem with a craft brewery coming out with a new beer. I mean, it happens all the time. Mm-hmm. I have nothing personal to say against St. James Gate and Guinness in trying to brew a new beer. I can say that personally I don't really care for it. Nothing personal against the beer, not saying, oh man, I want to punch.
It is very personal because personally you don't care for it.
I'm going to punch you in the face, man. The bottom line for me about this beer is that I'm not saying, Guinness, why did you want to brew another beer? I'm just saying, Guinness, why brew this beer? Because I know we've all said, we're used to seeing Guinness Stout. That's kind of the quintessential pub beer.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to steer away from your BMCs, and I know we always say that, but bless you. A quintessential pub beer, it's usually Guinness, you know? Sometimes it's a game day beer, sometimes it's just a Sunday afternoon beer. I mean, who knows? Any number of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a low ABV, I mean, Guinness Stout, low ABV, high flavor beer. Very nice, very drinkable beer for that specific niche. And then to throw this out there to say, hey, we want to try to now expand that niche, I think that name is going to be a stipend to them. I mean, it's going to hurt them.
In the end of the day, we know Guinness for stout. For them to brew a black lager like this, I just don't care much for it. Not good, not bad. It's a 5.
Okay. Scott, are you still on the show?
I know. I started out on it, and then it got taken over down here. They both missed the boat on everything I said, and they both missed the boat on really the true, I think, the true mistake that they made.
Well, I guess we should start the episode over again.
Who makes Harp?
Guinness.
That's funny. It doesn't say Guinness Harp on it, does it? I think they made a mistake by saying Guinness Black Lager. I think they should have come up with something else.
Well, Harp is a lager, and they call it Harp Lager.
Black Lager. Do they call it Guinness Lager?
No.
What I'm saying is they've put their flagship beer in front of this beer, in front of the lager, so people are expecting Guinness.
Absolutely.
Some people aren't educated in beer, so they see Guinness Black Lager. They don't read past Guinness. They see Guinness. They're like, oh, they've renamed Guinness. They don't see it. They don't know
I'd say
it.
the vast majority of Americans don't know the difference between an ale and a lager.
No. So the biggest part, and again, I give this beer a 7. I actually like it. I'm liking it more and more and more. I mean, I've changed my mind on this beer. It was a 6, but really, the more I drink it, it's very drinkable. I like Guinness a lot, and this does have some of the characteristics of Guinness with the roasted barley. You really can taste the kind of the different characteristics as far as the coffee and the chocolate overtones and undertones. But again, I really think they really screwed the pooch on calling it Guinness Black Lager.
Do you think that if they would have called it Harp Black Lager?
No, I don't think they should have called it Guinness or Harp. I think that if they were truly trying to appeal to different masses and they really thought that their beer and they wanted to get behind the flavor and the taste of their beer, they would have completely named something different. And instead of people saying, this is, no, not even starting a different brewery, but naming it.
That's what it sounded like.
If they would have named it something else, and it would have clearly stated on there that Guinness was the brewer.
Well, they're trying to take advantage of the Guinness name.
Obviously, but
they're trying to expand the market for the
Guinness, not
name.
Harp.
But I think that they screwed up a little bit with it because I personally, again, I don't think they're going to expand beyond Guinness drinkers with this because I don't really think, again, a whole lot of lager drinkers, they're not average people.
It's not a go-to beer, and that's my challenge with it. I mean, a non-Guinness drinker, you're not going to go to this beer and be like, man, I'm a non-Guinness drinker, but this says Black Lager, so I'm going to drink this beer.
What do you guys think about the fact that they designed this beer to be drank out of the bottle? I mean, it says on the bottle, drink cold out of the bottle. It says it somewhere.
I like it.
I mean, to me, that says something.
It does bring down that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, sorry. Hey.
Sorry, man.
Come here, man. Come here. I was going to say, the first thing that came to mind was it reminds me of champagne. You ever know why a champagne flute is so skinny? You know, because it stinks, man. I mean, champagne literally smells like shit because they don't want you to smell it; they just want you to drink it. You know, because the actual effervescence that you get, you know, on your palate is a lot more tasty than it is when you actually smell it. Champagne stinks, right? This beer doesn't smell great. I'm not saying that's why they're doing it, but that's just.
No, I mean, I really think that I like that aspect of it. You know, drink it straight from the bottle. That's gonna bring into that American.
Well, the majority of Americans drink their beer out of the bottle.
Yeah, they want to drink a beer out of the bottle. They want something that's. And I don't know what the cost is on this. What was the cost on that?
$8.99.
$8.99 a 6-pack. I mean, the thing is that's the other thing of it. You know, $8.99 a 6-pack for Guinness. Yeah, it's imported. I understand that, but at the same time. You know,
I don't know. If Budweiser tried to make a stout, I'd be like, WTF.
Yeah.
Guinness Black Lager gets a 5.7 on the PBA scale. What is your favorite offering from Guinness? Do you think this lager adds any arrows to Guinness's quiver? Let us know in the comments section, and then go buy a PBA t-shirt. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority. Better Beer Authority.